Go ahead, man.
Dude, we're here. We're getting in. Little technical difficulty. It's okay. Diaries are a bitch. Oh, whatever. Life gets in the way, man. But I'm super excited, Like, what do you do, man? What is this thing? Surfing.
Yeah, surf synergy. Well, the concept of synergy is basically, if you look it up in the dictionary, it may go along the lines of many actors or factors that uh, get together or conspire to make something work,
Mm.
basically. So that's what we're doing here at Surf Synergy. We are a surf retreat. We offer packages for people to stay with us and surf every day and get video analysis, so they can correct and improve their experience in the water. We have 3 meals, accommodation. We have yoga, functional training, ice bath, breath work, regional tours, and stand-up paddle boarding. So it is a very holistic approach to surfing. So it's not only surfing, but everything that surrounds it, basically, in our vision.
I think that's beautiful, man. I think it allows a lot more people feel like they can come to your retreat. It's like an open door policy. Like everybody's in. It's like no, you're a professional surfer. That's it. It's like no, guys, like come on in. Like you use the buzzword of holistic, right? And I think that's stunning. I think a lot of things, especially in our scene, right, the health, wellness, fitness all under the same umbrella, let's be honest. I think that's where a lot of things are going, and I think that's the way a lot of things need to go as well, right? Let's try and take this longer term approach and a synergistic approach. Sorry to use your buzzword, just throw you guys out there.
There you
Um,
go.
of like we need to be able to look after both the body. Can we do cool shit? Is it healthy? Yeah. Is it like functional and stuff? But also up here as well, right? And I love the fact how everything's coming together.
Thank you, thank you. That's the idea, that we break the pattern and the habitual, or the one size fits all approach. We're trying to be inclusive. We're trying to offer more than surfing, and we're trying to make it available, like you said, for entry levels all
Mm.
the way up to pros. Why not? We have the
Mm.
tools. So yeah.
For sure, man. Like when I came across your stuff, like the first question that always comes up in my mind is like, why did people get into this, right? So
Mm.
what's the story, man? Like why surfing? Why link it together with a holistic approach? Well, why do you care essentially? I think understanding that is a
Yeah.
fascinating thing.
Well, I think that question reminds me of your podcast, the difference between a instructor and a coach, right? When you consider yourself a coach, you try and implement other aspects of preparation in order for the trainee or the attendee to make the most out of their experience. So in this case, we are fortunate to have people around us here at Surf Synergy in the organization that have knowledge in areas like yoga, like breath work, like uh, the therapy of cold exposure, um, and functional training. So we, as someone like you and I, know that those are great complementary items to make an experience more profound, and to prepare you more and to help you recover even, right? For after the performance, then we put them all together into the puzzle, and that's what we offer. Is, again, it goes along, again, the holistic part of the tagline. So yeah, we have an amazing little product here, and we are proud and happy to offer it.
Yeah, I love the bleeding off effect that our industry ends up having, right? Where it's not just physicality, it's not just can you surf, right? Because you usually go out there and you face a fear, right? Whether it's the water, whether it's failing, whatever it is,
Yes.
and then you come off the board, you come onto land, right? You go do your everyday life, corporate, whatever it is, right? Stay at home dad, doesn't matter, and you found that you've benefited from the physical stuff, from a physical skill, you know. And I think that's why I got addicted to coaching in the first place. Was like, whoa, hold on a minute, we're helping and improving lives through the medium of fitness.
Yes.
I was like,
Yeah.
all we got to do is, like, for myself, I don't teach surfing, never surfed, I'd love to surf, never had the opportunity to get out there.
You'll do
Obviously.
good at it. I'm sure. Pretty sure you'll do good at it.
Oh, thank you, man. Like, I mean, being from
Yeah.
Manchester, there's not many beaches around, right? Like,
You got to travel. That's a good thing. You got to get to travel, and visit.
maybe I gotta come
Stop by.
Costa Rica, man.
Visit. Stop by. Open arms.
Mm. Like,
So
Latin America is a fascinating place to me. Like, I
mhm.
love history, I love culture, and I love different languages. And those three together blended into this one part, I think that's a stunning combination. You know, there's so much to learn, man.
Awesome. You got to have an open heart and an open head to be the people that we are being, right? The person, the coach.
Mm,
Yeah. Because again, it goes back to not only the physical, like you said, it goes back to the cultural, it goes
mm,
back to the physiological, psychological aspects. So the more you can absorb, the more you can learn, then the more you can lay for people to also feed off of, right? When we speak of surfing, we speak of flow, and to be able to flow, you have to prepare yourself. You have to envision yourself. You have to warm up yourself. You have to create muscle memory. You have to be invigorated. You have to be nurtured. You have to be hydrated, well fed, flexible. Then you have to recover after. You got to know how to breathe properly to enhance your performance and your experience. So the before, the during, and the after, and all of the above, all of the cultural exchanges, when you're just driving after surfing with a group of people that are not native to the place and you're explaining to them, things about the culture, about the idiosyncrasy, fun facts. It makes for a great experience, and that's what we're trying to provide. And you can relate to that because after that episode, after that chapter that I listened on your podcast, wow, there's a lot that resonates with what we do here. Because in our staff, pretty much, I would say 99 of the people is committed to go the extra mile and to not just stop where the script stops, but always just bring something else from a genuine, willing personality that's open to share information, open to support, to help. Is pretty much wearing others' shoes, also getting in other people's positions. Treat others like you would like to be treated. So that kind of goes, sums it all up. And again, we're trying to be better people in order to provide a better experience. So yeah, traveling is definitely one part of it, whether traveling abroad or traveling uh, domestic, if you will. But yeah, it goes along the same philosophy that you have.
sure, man. I think travel is such a beautiful thing, man, and we need to be able to experience different perspectives, because everyone's got a story, you know, and ultimately it molds our way of thinking. And tomorrow it might have changed again, you know. But if we're constantly surrounded by the environment or people that just think the same as ourselves and have the same story, right, then we're only ever
Yeah,
going to be biased and one-sided. And I think that I don't think that creates a balanced human being. I think we need to be able to think about someone, something beyond yonder, right over there. Like, oh, someone might have a different, like, ideology. You know, there's a male and a female. It's split down the middle, right? Obviously, non-binary as well, and all that. And then you've got nations, and you've got, like, there's differences. And I'm like, great. What can I learn from that? And then what can you learn from me? And how can we then help each other out? You know, and I think, again, like, I just like to relate it back to the fitness industry, right? I was like, what can I learn from the activity of surfing? What can I learn from the activity of yoga? I was like, okay, great. That's not my poison of choice for the majority of the week. I like to lift weights and do all that shit, Olympic weightlifting, right? And a little bit of CrossFit. And you're like, great, but there's other things that we can learn, right? And I go back to something that my granddad used to say to me was, he was a structural engineer, right? And he'd always be working, but he'd always be working on other things, right? And I'd be like, what's going on? Like, I don't really get it. Like, why aren't you working on your craft? And he said, he turned around and was like, if we continuously beat the drum, then the leather will become taut and eventually break. We need to learn how to practice our skill without beating the drum.
There you go.
And, obviously as a kid, you're not really going to understand what it is, but you think back as an adult and you're like, oh, okay. Like, rather than just doing one singular thing over and over and over and over again, maybe there are other skills that can be transferred to that thing and make us better, right?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is good to be open to those patterns of thought.
Mm.
Don't get yeah, break the pattern, break the square thinking. That's one of the big qualities of a coach, right? You have to be able to adapt. You have to be able to absorb new information and to study it. And if it resonates, if it's proven to work, then apply it. Then you'll never be stagnated. You'll never reach a plateau. You'll always keep rising, right? Because till the moment we're gone, we're learning.
Mm.
So yeah, that's an amazing comment. And yeah, props to your grandpa.
He was a cool dude, again, but he traveled. He went to West Africa. He lived and worked in Nigeria for 55 years and would solo road trip around Africa and just experiencing different cultures, right? And I'm sure he would have picked that up or picked up a something inspired that to say that on his travels, and it's meeting new people, it's learning from one another. I think it's so special, and that's why that word synergy,
That's synergy right there.
like
Yeah.
that really really resonated with me, and I was like, fuck, this is cool. I gotta learn about this. Like, this is really really, this is rad.
Awesome. Well, I'm keen and I'm eager, to in the future maybe welcoming you here, man.
Dude, I'll be
So
there.
yeah, we're gonna
100%. I got a good friend of mine who's over in Costa Rica.
there you
um
go.
he owns a gym out there, so now I got two excuses to get out.
Excuses. There you go. I'm sure we'll keep in touch after the podcast.
100%, man.
So what else you got there? Let's branch off and talk more about sports or physiology or psychology.
Let's
Is
do
there
it.
anything there? Yeah. Is there anything there on your in your mind that you would like to touch upon?
Yeah, I got a question. What do you think is the biggest thing people gain from coming to the retreat? Whether it's physically, whether it's mentally, spiritually, what do you think people gain the most?
That's a good question. Um, we have a friend here that refers to the retreat, or at least the days that you spend here at the retreat, as a real life experience. Um, because you have to understand now in the modern days, right? A lot of people is just fully uh, committed to their jobs and their daily lives, including you and I believe,
Mm,
right?
mm,
We happen to have contexts that are very fortunate, right? What we've been talking about, we are blessed and fortunate to be coaches and to work uh, primary learning and updating ourselves to then be able to help others, right? But there are people here that not necessarily will have that freedom, if you will, to move and to perform. So people that maybe have like long shift office jobs and they feel like they're trapped and they're they need an escape. They need to get away for a few days, and they come here and they do a radical change of context. They do a real big shift on paradigm to live a lifestyle that resonates with their body, minds, and souls. So after the retreat, I think they've gained a lot of, I will say, well, of course, physical, physical attributes like, better cardiovascular capabilities and more agility and more balance, coordination, um, breathing skills to use in their daily tasks, whether they're cognitive or physical. But I think they walk away with this sense of, is it really worth the grind of the long shifts and the crazy workaholic days? Because yeah, there is definitely a balance to be acknowledged after just giving yourself all that free time, that fun time that you deserve. But why don't we just try and squeeze in more moments like those during the long days of work or weeks or months of work? So I think they gain that, they redimension, or they kind of give another meaning, or they see things different when they leave the retreat. It's like, okay, maybe all of this time that I've been, working so hard, I'm going to try and do more of what I did in the trip. So in a way, they're bringing back some life to their days, aside from all of the benefits that they've acquired throughout a week or 4 day stay with all of the activities that we do, right? Self-confidence, self-esteem in a lot of ways too, because it is very common to hear people on the testimonials that we capture after the whole experience. They will say, I came here with no expectations, or even expecting that I was not going to get up on a board. I didn't think I was going to be able to get up on a board and ride. And man, there they are doing way more than that, riding many waves every day, longitudinal, not straight, just basically fulfilling the surfing concept. So they walk away with a different concept of themselves, of what they're capable of doing. I think that's very powerful, when you prove yourself that you can lift that extra weight you thought it'll never be possible to do, or achieve a task that you thought it was almost impossible. Then when you do it, then there's something that changes positively inside of you, right? You feel like now you've gained power. You've claimed back the inherited power that you have as a human to be a machine of adaptation. And I think that's one big takeaway from the whole retreat is um, the
Back in business, mate, talking across the world. Who would have thought it would be so difficult,
amazing what technology can do these days.
Yeah, it's
Grateful
insane.
for it. Grateful for it in many ways. In other ways, I'm not so grateful, but in a lot of ways we are.
Yeah, we'll do a podcast over postcards next time,
There you go.
Dude, I got three questions before we go.
Yes.
What is the greatest piece of life advice you've ever received?
Ooh. It may sound like an overkilled one, like an overly uh, said one, but live the moment, live the present. The present is a gift, right? And if you worry about the future, you'll be anxious. If you worry about the past, you'll be depressed. And it's one of the things that, yeah, when you really internalize it and feel it, and it becomes a realization.
That's
Yeah,
powerful.
as simple as it sounds, right? And we're always trying to find how to really make it feel like we are appreciating it and living it, and just forgetting about, the worries of the future. In that line, I tell you of my own experience, what I always tell myself is, if there's a reason why I'm still here, why is there a reason that I shouldn't be here still for many more years? Surrounded by amazing people, and and experiences.
Mm,
Yeah.
I like that a lot, man. What about what's the worst piece of life advice you ever received?
The worst piece of life advice that I've ever received. Man, I don't think if it's an advice, but it's a common thought in people's heads when you're doing something that doesn't fully benefit you, but is an activity that people still enjoy and take delight on, like maybe like drinking a bit too much or smoking or going to bed late, or people will usually say, oh, you got to die of something, right? We're gonna die anyways. I think that's probably one of the worst things you can say to somebody. Um, yeah, because then you'll probably regret it when you're older and you're sick. It's
Yep.
better to age healthy, right? I rather age healthy than age ill,
Mm.
and all the bad habits are gonna toll us at some point, right? Gonna pay a toll. That's
100%,
right.
man. Especially the lack of sleep, dude. Like I think that's a big one in modern times, right? Like we sleep 6 hours, 5 hours, for and I'm like, guys, like this is probably not a good thing.
Yeah, I think people like you and I will throw an analogy here. I have a friend of mine who's a faithful person. He's a man of God, and at church they say, it's a Christian church, by the way. They say all of the attendees here are former or ex drunks, ex drug addicts, ex um like, what's the name for that word? They used to just get around with women often,
Mm,
ex everything, like they are breaking away from older uh vicious patterns through faith, which
mm,
is, for me, faith, I so welcome and so appreciative of it when it comes to bringing people out of the darkness. Some people, some other people will find it through meditation and psychology, whatnot. Uh, but yeah, I'm sure you and I we've probably done our share of going to bed late and doing the things that, you know, even if it's for work reasons, maybe for party reasons in the past, maybe for work reasons in the present. But after all, we've probably been victims of the modern behaviors of our species, where at some point we go, okay, man, I got to practice what I preach, right?
mm.
So in order to have coherence in what we do, then we still have to fine tune a few things of our behavior, right? And before we preach him. So yeah.
100%, man. I've definitely fallen victim to that a little bit too often than I should have done, like every
I
once
tell
in a
you, man.
while, fine, enjoy yourself, no problem. But if it's like every
Yeah.
weekend or if it's a couple nights a week, you're like, dude, come on now.
And the list is big. It can even be stress. I've been a victim of stress and
Yeah.
cortisol. I have felt cortisol intoxicating me and making me, behave and feel like I wouldn't want to anymore, So that's why I really like to pay attention to the breathing, to the ice cold therapy, to the ice therapy, cold exposure therapy, stretching and just being out there, man, getting some vitamin D from sunlight, every time there's a possibility. Something that the dogs teach us, right? When you see a dog out in the grass laying because it's sunny, they're getting that good, the good energy from the sun. So yeah, I'm sure we're all the ones that are really passionate about this is because we've also come from stories that are kind of strong, and
Yes,
we've
sir.
over we've overcame those, and now we are better people. And now it's almost like our life duty, right? Is our purpose, if you will.
Yes, sir. All right, last question, then I gotta run. Is what are the three words you tell your younger self?
Three words that I tell myself,
Yeah, your younger self.
my younger self. Yeah, yeah. Okay. I will probably not say one word, but one line will
Mm,
be, and I leave up for this one, truly. And there's a reason why I got into stand-up paddleboarding, for example. It is set yourself new physical activities every now and then, like just go and practice a different sport, make something that is hard, practice handstands, for an example, or, if you've never swum, go, pay for swimming lessons, enter a race, do something that will throw you out of your comfort zone physically and mentally, and that'll keep you young. That'll keep you young. In other words, motion is lotion, right? Or use it or lose it in terms of your muscle memory. So that's one. I think another one is a premise that you can probably relate to as well, is be a thermostat and not a thermometer, because thermostats will adapt. And we all struggle with it, right? Our personalities, sometimes some of us, people have personalities, right? And some personalities are stronger than others. But to be able to adapt based on that same comment you mentioned a little while ago, that empathy that traveling oftentimes gives you, to know that, the other may have a different perspective of things, to be able to understand that everyone has their story and their struggle, and to try and adapt instead of react. So try and be the thermostat instead of the thermometer, because the thermometer is constantly going up and down, reacting to temperature, or external signals, right? A thermostat is always trying to reach that level, right? So yeah, that's another thing that I tell myself: try and be a thermostat. Break away from the thermometer behavior. That'll be the second one. And then the third word or line that I will try and tell myself often is breathe and smile. Breathe consciously and smile. Even if you're feeling bad, if you're going through a bad, rough moment, smile, because that'll even, fake it till you make it, if you will. When you smile, you're releasing dopamines, right? The brain is getting a different signal. So you may be able to counter that uncomfortable moment that you're going through by just smiling, man. Fake it till you make it. Yeah. Those will be the three. Those will be the three that I can think of. Motion is lotion, right? Stay active. Be a thermostat, not a thermometer. And man, just connect with yourself and smile. Breathe and smile. I actually want to get a tattoo in every wrist. That's a reminder for myself that I can look at it and go, okay, deep breath, 5 deep breaths. Okay, good. Let's reset. Let's start again. And smile. Okay, let me smile again and remind myself that nothing is as bad as my brain will tell me at times. A lot of the stories are in the brain, right? And not really happening around you.
Dude, I love that so much, man. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll have to ask you your 3 words.
My 3 words is see another side.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
That's
so again, it's perspectives, right? And if I had to give another one, it'd be like, do your thing. I say it all the time. I say it to people, whether I'm coaching them or we're talking on a podcast or just mates in general. Just do your thing, man. Whatever it is, just do your thing. Just find out what that is and just don't succumb to any expectation of other people, and just been like, okay, don't be an asshole to people, but just live your life, bro. So write your own rules and live your life.
It's funny, man. I remember this Rasta friend of mine, a real Rastafarian guy. He's from Jamaica. He lives here in the Caribbean side of Costa Rica, which is like a little Jamaica. And I will hang out with them often because I was into music, reggae music, by the way. And I have a lot of Rasta friends. And one of them said something once where a scenario arose, something in the lines of somebody was supposed to get a ride to a show with somebody, but that person had to leave because of whatever reason. And then the other friend kind of got mad. And this friend of ours, Buki G, he said, yo, freedom, my lord. Just, hey, the man have a reason why he had to leave you. It was not in purpose. So freedom. Do not hold him hostage, for a guilt trip. just hey, Juan, let him be, freedom. So kind of goes in the same lines. Don't take anything personal and just do your thing
Do your
for
thing, man.
sure. I like
Love it, man.
that.
Brother, I'll see you in Costa Rica.
Hopefully, let's touch wood for
Yeah,
that
man.
to come to fruition, and then we'll exchange information, WhatsApp or whatnot, and we can further along do some some
Let's do it.
contact for sure.
Let's do it, man. Let's link it up.
Amazing podcast, the Nomadic podcast. I only got a chance to listen to one episode. I was telling our friend Misha, which was the one who made the link between us. She's, by the way, the sales and marketing director here, and she's also a CrossFit coach. So when you come here, you'll meet her, and you'll probably get to train together. I hope to be in those trainings too, because I know I have a lot to learn from you guys. Maybe you being here will be a reason for me to attend to the trainings, because I'm so busy. I miss them often.
That
But
sounds good to me, dude.
yeah. Congrats on your podcast and the work you're doing. You seem like a very smart young entrepreneur that's passionate about what he does. So wish you all the best in your journey, bro.
Thank you, bro. Muchas gracias, amigo.
Pura vida. Estamos en contacto. We'll stay in touch.
Yes, sir.
Cheers,
Sounds
Alex.
good, man. All right. Have a good day.
You too, my friend.
Speak soon. Bye, everybody.